All right. What's going on, guys? This is not really a reaction or anything like this. Um this is me talking about that man right there. Ozzy Osbourne. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be listening to 95, 96% of the music I listen to now. Um you know, as the godfather of metal, along with the rest of the guys in Black Sabbath, Tommy, Geezer, and Bill, um, 50 years ago, creating that first album. Uh yeah, who knows what the music scene would look like now. It's probably about fifth grade, sixth grade. I was in my garage with my dad. I heard this madman. That's probably the best way I could put it. Was a madman, with crazy vocals and this undeniable charisma that just came through the audio. I was just listening to the songs, not even watching the videos or anything like that. He had such a draw that was just totally undeniable. That how a man could just command presence, uh, just by listening to him. And so I asked my dad. I was like, "Who is this? Right? Who in the hell? Who the heck at the time was this guy?" Right? And it was Ozzy. And I'm pretty sure it was probably Bark at the Moon or Crazy Train or something like that. And obviously they weren't new at the time, but on the radio. And he told me who they were and who he was, and I was like immediately had to go out and and find whatever I could, music wise. And I think the first thing I got was, hold on, Osband Cometh, yes. 99. That was the greatest hits, like a compilation album. Yes. That was the first thing I bought. It was in 97. Okay, so yeah. Seventh grade, I think, sixth, seventh grade, somewhere around that time. Um, had all of the greatest hits at that time, along with some Sabbath stuff, and it was just it, he hit me right here, uh, and it was just one of the coolest things I've ever heard in my life. Um, my taste may have changed, but Ozzy always stayed the fucking same, and was always a staple in my heart on being the Godfather, and being just amazing at what he did. Um, and then we can't forget about the Osbournes, one of the first real true reality shows. Um, I just watched an interview where they said that they did an episode of Cribs, and they essentially wanted to make it full real life Cribs. Essentially, you got to see you got to actually see the crazy life that family has. Um, between Kelly's awful hair and Jack being just a goofy child, the dogs, Ozzy and Sharon's love for each other. As much as they yelled at each other, and and raised hell, uh, you knew that those two loved each other until death. I mean, who can not just see Ozzy and just hear Sharon?
I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Just yeah. I mean, it was one of the highlights of the week. You know, like where's everybody at? Everybody's at home watching the Osbournes. Back at a time when if you didn't watch it when it happened, you had to wait and try to find the rerun somewhere, right? It wasn't, everything's on Netflix or anything like that. It was on MTV, I think Sunday night at 9 or some shit like that. And if you didn't find it, it was you had to wait till like Tuesday afternoon, so or probably Tuesday night to find it again. But yeah, just and then to watch that man go through the sheer amount of drugs to get himself cleaned up, relatively cleaned up, is amazing. Um, and you can never understand a goddamn word that man said, but as soon as he was on stage, you understood every word. I don't know, man. He always had some magic about him. There's always something magical about Ozzy. Between starting Ozfest, which ran God knows how many years, um, I kick myself now. I never got to make it to any of them, and that's part of right now. That's part of my mourning is that I never went to Ozfest, and I always said, "God damn, I need to go see that man before he dies." I didn't make it. I didn't make it. I had plenty of chances, plenty of times. I know. I know. Things come up over the years. But the amount of regret that I have that I never got to see him live, whether he was, the same 30 years ago, 40 years ago, um, as he was like 15, 10, 5. I think it's been like, other than the last show 2 weeks ago, I think it was like 6 years since the last time he was on stage. But digress there. This is going to be nothing but a rambling session. I'm sorry. I have no real format for what I'm doing. Everything's just I'm just overlooking the wiki, and you know Parkinson's is a hell of a thing, man. It will put you down pretty much. You were pretty much screwed. Um, I'm just but you know what though? Right now up there, we got Randy, we got Ozzy, we got Dio, we got Lemmy up there, maybe. You got Dime, Vinny, countless others, man. You know, we're getting old. They're getting old. You know, I'm 40 now, and I've seen my fair share of rock stars die, pass away, self delete, whatever. Some definitely suck more than others. This one really hurts. Oh, you know, like I said, he's always been there, thick and thin, for a lot of us, not just me, for millions of rock, heavy metal, hard rock fans. And I think we all knew that show a couple weeks ago that it probably wasn't going to be too far out. Not this close though. Jesus, the man was killing it on stage 2 weeks ago. But um, I do think we found, or he found, his replacement in Youngblood, and that boy, he's smart. I think he's a lot smarter than what a lot of people think. He's already got his own festival going. Uh, he's had the blessing from Ozzy. Yeah, I think as long as he gets the the credit, I think that Youngblood will be able to carry on. Ozzy's, you know, carry a piece of him. Um, and then we can't forget about little Sid. You know, the the little the baby of darkness, with Kelly and Sid Wilson, from Slipknot. But little Sydney, uh, I hope he grows up okay. The rest of the family too, between Jack, Kelly, Amy, yes, Amy too, Sharon. Um, you know, thoughts go out to the family. Uh, 15 minutes is probably long enough for a complete stranger to cry and share his feelings. You know, it happens to all of us. It's going to happen to all of us. But to have such an impact like Ozzy had for millions of people, that's a special thing. And I'm so glad that he was able to close it out his way and actually be able to say goodbye. Because you never know when it's going to happen, but it it's going to happen. And for him to have been able to do the concert 2 weeks ago, and then raise almost 200 million for Parkinson's research, that's just mind boggling. Plus whatever's going to happen, because I just saw that they're going to do theatrical release of the concert. I'm sure that there's going to be even more money raised for Parkinson's. Yeah. I just want to thank everybody for it. If you stuck around and watched, thank you. I'm not going to do any of those other things. But yeah, thank you, Ozzy. You finally went home. You know, one more little story. It just my mom coming home was one of those songs that I always played uh, after I got to wrestling shows, even if I didn't have a girlfriend at the time or anything like that. It was just one of those. I'm on the road home from a show, even if it's a half hour away. You do your thing, you do your gig, you do your passion, and then you're on your way home. The family, and yeah, that was just one of those things I always did. But now, Ozzy, you're home. Rest easy, sir. You've deserved it. Yeah. Thank you guys. Take care.